The views and opinions of this broadcast do not reflect the views and opinions of Studio 6 Entertainment, Armed Media, or the Entertainment Partners LLC. Enjoy the show.
5, 4, 3, 2, 1. We have ignition. Strap in.
Straight Talk with Matt Hasley. Every Monday and Friday, 9 p.m. Central Time. Only on Armed Radio Global.
So the attitude is not going to speed things up any bit at all. I'm going to ask you to speak into the mouthpiece very clearly.
Check this out.
It is Monday night time for some Straight Talk. Making sure that all my devices going as we make sure I didn't forget to turn something on. But I'm good to go. I got everything running. So much talk about everything going on in the news right now. I mean, it's crazy. Going to start out with the NFL. It says, I just got a poke from Joe. All right, good. I will. Thank you, Joe. I had notified our star maker, Joe Rocks, that Donald Trump will be here Friday. So I'm trying to get media passes so I can go and cover it will be probably chaotic. So I'd love to go and be the reporting on the scene reporter for Armed Radio Global. So, and I'm not just want to see him. I'd like to see others too. But before we get started, I'd like to special thanks to our sponsors out there. St. Julian's Macaroons. Warm up this holiday season with a macaroon. The Price family has been making St. Julian's macaroons since the early 70s. With only quality ingredients, 100% FDA approved, or 100% gluten-free. With only quality ingredients, these macaroons will sure to please. So order them for the holidays. They'll ship them right to your door. Check them out at www.macaroons.com. I got them on the way. I can't wait. So, also eat24.com. Are you hangry? Well, if you are, I'll tell your appetite to shut up. So, log on to eat24.com, download that app for your favorite mobile device. Click, order, and eat. I just got another poke from Joe. It says, Joe likes to call me Yorkie. And because, I didn't do the No Shave November this year. I'm not in the Mike Allen category with the Hagrid beard. But he still calls me Yorkie because one of the ladies I worked with last year told me I looked like a Yorkie when I had my No Shave November going, and it kind of hung on. And speaking of nicknames, how you get nicknames, well, that's one of the nicknames that Joe has called me. But apparently Eli Manning, there was a closed caption mistake. And somehow during a closed caption mistake, it blessed Eli Manning with the name. I don't know how it said Eli Man, and then it says Penguin Boy. So I don't know how Penguin Boy, somebody typing that in closed captioning. But, I will sit, and I always do, it says, this is not a good game, decision by Eli, space, man, space, Penguin Boy. I'm not quite sure how that come up, but, I've seen, somebody typing, when they do those typing, the closed caption. That's not a computer, that's somebody actually typing it out. And that's what, because there's a delay. As far as I know, it's not a computer because I've seen it space back and redo it. I have closed captioning on at the golf course, so in case anytime we mute the TVs, because sometimes you get the TVs are so loud, I can't stand it when a commercial comes on and it's 3 times as loud as the program. You know, I turn my TVs. I don't know what it is. The TVs just got terrible speakers in them, so you end up having to turn them up. And then when a commercial comes on, it just blows you out. So, but yeah, he received the nickname Penguin Boy over the weekend. But we're going to get to the NFL here shortly. If you'd like to interact with the show, you can do multiple ways. Hashtag a tweet, ARM Radio. I'll see it pop up on the tweet deck. I mean, we got tons of different stuff we're talking about. We'll be talking about gun control. We're going to be talking about exorcisms. You would name it. We're going all around the board. We're talking about animal cruelty. I mean, it's just crazy, some of the things. Michael Moore is going to be in, I'm going to be talking about him. So, and if you're looking for a job as a pilot, United States Air Force might have you. And you can be a civilian while you do it. So, but, if you'd like to also interact with the show, you can call in at 1-866-225-5401. Yep, and my phone lines have been forwarded, so they are ready. But over last night, you know, talking about the NFL games, I mean, going through the week, we talked about this Friday. Thursday, Thanksgiving, Detroit just beat Philadelphia's ass, which I couldn't believe. I was shocked. Carolina stays unbeaten. Beats Dallas. Tony Romo hairline crack fracture of his clavicle again. He's out for the season. The Bears dump a Thanksgiving turd, stuff a turd inside Green Bay Packers. So I loved it. Well, Sunday, Jets beat the Dolphins 38-20. San Diego Chargers beat the Jaguars 31-25. Raiders, they beat Tennessee Titans 24-21. Kansas City Chiefs outlast Buffalo 30-22. Colts beat the Buccaneers 25-12. Kind of weird number. Washington Redskins beat the Giants 20-14. Minnesota Vikings beat the Atlanta Falcons 20-10. Cincinnati Bengals beat up on the Rams 31-7. Houston Texans beat the New Orleans Saints. Man, I tell you what, New Orleans just can't do anything right now. 24-6. Arizona Cardinals beat the 49ers 19-13. Great game last night, or yesterday afternoon, I should say. Seattle outlast Pittsburgh 39-30. Wow, what a game that was. Ben Roethlisberger out, got injured, could not return to the game. Took himself out for concussion. He got hit. And then last night's game, Denver Broncos beat the Patriots 30-24. I'm not any for one team or the other. I could care less who, if the Denver wins or if New England wins. I have no dog in the fight, as they say. But to get knockoff New England from the unbeatens, as they call it, to be. There were two plays that Gronkowski got called for. And Gronkowski is out I guess it's day by day with a knee strain. Thank God it wasn't a tear, but that's the only guy they got. He's phenomenal, Gronkowski. That's the only thing that Brady can throw to. They're pretty much one-dimensional offense. Throw. You think Mark Trestman was the offensive coordinator for him. But the push-off that Gronkowski got called for was not a push-off. I've seen more bumping and fighting going on, and they don't call anything. And the hold in the end zone, which gave Denver a first down, first and goal on the 8, which would have been, I don't know, third or fourth down and 18 after he got sacked. That was the worst call I've ever seen. They gifted that to Denver. I mean, that's the one thing I dislike about the NFL officiating this year is it's so, I wouldn't say poor. You get in the argument of why aren't these guys full time? Why is this a part-time job for them? They go, oh, well, he's an accountant or he's an attorney. And I talked about this the other day on my show, and we talked about, my father and I were discussing it, and they said, well, they don't want them to, if they get fired as an official, then they could lose their other job. Well, they need to make up their mind what job they want. Do they want to be an NFL official full-time, or do they want to be a lawyer? Because they need to put more effort into being an official. This year, and not just the same people, but a lot of guys have been making terrible calls. And I mean, it's not just me. You look just about anywhere on the internet, and it's ridiculous the amount of poor calls that are being made right now. I mean, I'm shocked at how bad it's getting. I mean, it's almost like the scab referees are back. When it costs an outcome of a game, and it shouldn't. All officials should do is be to determine. I hear them arguing in the booth. Oh, that was a terrible call. And when they're talking about it being a terrible call, those guys played. They're coaches. They know. I mean, I think New England, I think they got screwed on those two calls. Whether those two calls should have determined them to win the game, I don't know. But definitely got screwed on those two calls. And with those two calls, that cost them the game. So, has there been officiating nightmares this year? Oh, yes. And I mean, there's always going to be some. But, that was... I really don't care. My brother-in-law, all he's been doing is telling me, only 2 teams left, because he's a Dolphins fan. So he doesn't care if his team loses. All he has to do is that everybody else at least loses once, so they still have that record for the perfect season. Well, I don't think, Carolina, great team, playing great right now. Do I think they can go all the way? I doubt it. Odds are against them. But I mean, you look at the injury report going on right now. I mean, wow. I think they need to do something. They got that new movie coming out with the concussions. And, you look at Ben Roethlisberger pulled himself out of the game last night. I mean, it's got to be a major concussion because most of those guys will play where they can barely walk up. I mean, Case Keenan or whatever it was, he got knocked out last week. You look at the players, how many times they hit the quarterback. they're going to have to do something to protect the quarterback because he's so, they do it for the receivers now. They have that, what do they call the, where he can't defend himself and he's, reaching out to catch a ball and they're hitting him. But you see these guys, they tuck their arms back and they're trying to blow the player up. And everybody goes, oh, that's football. You're trying to dumb the game down. Well, until you got a guy that you got to spoon feed him the rest of your life or his life because he's paralyzed. These guys are leading with the crown of their helmet. They're leading at the shoulder and they're not even trying to tackle the guy. You see some of the worst tackling. I mean, they teach you in Pop Warner 7th, 8th grade football how to tackle better than this. And they teach you to tackle with your head up, watching the player. You go for they always taught to, when I was playing football, to tackle, you watch the hips. Because you watch the hips, it's almost impossible for the guy to make a hip fake. His legs will move, his upper body will move, but his hips are going to generally stay in the same spot. You tackle around the hips and then, work your way down, grab to wrap his legs up. But you see guys that are going to blow him up. They'll put their head down and they'll lower that shoulder to hit him, and the guy will, leap over him or something like that. And they totally miss him. Well, if you had your head up, tackle like you're supposed to, and tried to wrap him up, you wouldn't miss that tackle. These guys are trying to hit and blow people up, to knock them out, really. What happens is they're going to end up having somebody get hurt. And then they're going to get a huge lawsuit because they've been letting it go and letting it go and letting it go. What have they done? They've tried to do is limit the injuries. They know they're under the gun for concussions. They say, the movie they're talking about. Yeah, I think it is going to get so much pressure on them that they're going to have to do something about the way they tackle. Hitting quarterbacks. If a punter kicks the ball and it's gone off his foot, you can't hit that punter. You can't even push him down. Why can you hit the quarterback? If the quarterback has already thrown the ball, you see so many people just drilling him. Tonight, you're watching them getting every game. How these quarterbacks are even able to walk after it, I have no idea. I mean, it's overwhelming how many times they get hit and how hard they get hit. It's the face of a franchise that could affect whether they win a Super Bowl, go to the playoffs, or what. I mean, take a look at the quarterbacks that are knocked out and what's happened to those teams. Denver, Osweiler might be, with Manning getting injured, might be the right time for Peyton to step down. I love Peyton. I think he's a great quarterback. I really respect Peyton. Seems like a really class guy. It's just, you looked at it like Brett Favre. When is the time to walk away? You look at great players that have stayed in the league too long. You get Brett Favre tried to go one too many. Trying to go with Minnesota and go on, and you felt bad for him the way he was treated. He got his, his number retired at Green Bay like he should have. But you look at guys who try to stay in the league too long. They just don't know when to quit. They don't realize that. They don't see that they've slowed down that much. They were talking about, oh God, I can't, he now does announcing for, but he played for New England. He was a linebacker and he's watching films and he's going, God, who is that guy? He is so slow. And then he realized it was himself. He couldn't realize that it was himself that he'd slowed down that much. He goes, that's when I realized it was time to get out. I mean, you look at some of the best players, and they just don't know when to walk away. I mean, I would love to have Peyton Manning on my team healthy. But I think that, I think it's almost time. Look at, speaking of retirement, Kobe Bryant, Laker great, played with one team his whole career. How many guys know that have done that in this day and age? There's no loyalty for teams anymore. It's show me the money. I can't blame them. But I mean, talk about Ndamukong Suh. Ndamukong Suh is the Detroit Lions beast. I mean, just a machine. Hated playing against him because he just knew he was going to destroy you. And he's got a huge salary and went to Miami, and he's really done nothing. And I'm not saying that it's anything against him. It might be the system that he's in. But look at Kobe announcing his retirement. I mean, I don't blame him. He's done just about everything in the NBA that anybody can do. Great player, just getting worn down. Playing as many 82 games a year plus all the preseason, it just wears them guys out. And then you go, if they go to the, playoffs, I mean, a lot of basketball. Speaking of basketball, how about the Warriors? My God, what a start they had. I mean, right now, I haven't looked, it's just getting to the time where I start watching a lot more basketball, but I watch the Bulls as much as I can, but right now, I mean, I'm football. I enjoy watching, I enjoy watching as much football until playoffs and bowl season starting to come up. This coming weekend, you got your playoff predictions of who's going to be in the top four. But Golden State 18-0 right now. I mean, what a start. You got, let's see, the next best record after that is 14-4, and that's San Antonio. And they just lost one. They were 14-3, but 18-0, unbelievable. I mean, they're going to have to start resting some. I mean, but you look at, it's like they're toying with people. It's like they are just making other people look terrible. They toyed with the Bulls for about 3 quarters. Bulls had about a 15 or so point lead early this year, and then they come back and of course they beat them. But no, it's impressive start. And let's see what else we got here. I had to laugh. When you start out and you are, let me see here. See if I can find it. I put, here, playoff scenarios. I was going to talk about that. They were talking about, number 1 Clemson. Beat number 14 North Carolina ACC championship, close out regular season. Do that, and Clemson should be no worse than number 2 in the playoffs. Alabama, who's 11-1, path to the playoff, beat number 12 Florida in the SEC championship. Though a number of Alabama's opponents, Wisconsin, Mississippi, Texas A&M, and LSU, to name 4, seem to fade after facing the Crimson Tide. It says all but one of their wins versus FBS opponents are what the committee considers a quality win. Number 3, Oklahoma, 11-1. Path to playoff. It's inconceivable based on the Big 12 championship and current selection committee ranking that the Sooners have not already locked up a playoff seed. Number 4, Iowa, 12-0. Only other undefeated team besides Clemson win the Big 10 championship. So they're going to have to play Michigan State. They beat Michigan State, they're in. Michigan State beats Iowa, they're probably in. But it says number 5, Michigan State, who's on the bubble, beat Iowa in the Big Ten championship thanks to resume builders forming wins against Oregon, Michigan, Ohio State, and Michigan State is already extremely strong case if it can add the conference title. Number 6, Ohio State. With Stanford knocking out Notre Dame, the Buckeyes stay in the fringe of the playoffs as a second potential Big Ten entrant. Even then, they would need Stanford or either Clemson or Alabama to lose in the conference championship games. So, and then I don't even know how. Number 9, they even have Stanford in there and North Carolina in there at number 14. I don't know how North Carolina, I know they're 11-1, but they thinking they can jump 10 spots, which would be shocking to me. So, this weekend is going to be some great college football. So, Iowa plays at like 7-17. How they get to 7-17, I have no idea. Where the numbers come for that, but let's see here. Oh, here's one. You know, you're having a bad season. You're 0-16 to start. It says NBA rookie allegedly caught on video fighting outside a nightclub after taunts about his 0-16 team. It says Boston police say they do not plan to investigate the apparent nightclub scuffle involving 76er Jahlil Okafor unless someone involved comes forward to say they were a victim of a crime. It says Officer James Keenely said Friday that the police responded to fights outside the nightclub hours after the winless Sixers lost to the Boston Celtics on Wednesday night, but says the participants were gone by the time the officers arrived and nobody was arrested or charged. So, I'm not sure why you would want to fight a guy that size. I don't know if he, says, this is what they're talking about, what the fight happened. It's apparently they said the 76ers sucks and you guys are all losers. You'll never win a game. It says a source close to Okafor told ESPN. He says, I was around the corner when it happened. I saw a minute after he knocked the dude out. Source told ESPN that the guy was just talking, you fill in the blank, saying the Sixers suck. It says Philadelphia has 16 losses and is the only team in the NBA without a win. The Sixers also lost 26 straight games dating back to last season and are the first team in NBA history to begin a consecutive 0-16. That would probably piss you off just a little bit and have somebody rub it in your face. So, yep. You can only probably take so much. But, and I'm sure a little bit of the alcohol would have to do is be involved. One of the teams I saw that they were putting escorts to escort the players when they go out. And that's probably not a bad idea. Because, I mean, you would, if you've got a guy on your team, and I think the NFL should do it too, and they say, well, we're not babysitters. Well, maybe you should be. With as much money that you got invested in that guy, maybe you need to babysit him. Because it certainly isn't working with some of the guys. I mean, you look at Johnny Manziel. He's supposed to have been going through a program. Nobody's babysitting him. What do they got? They got video of him holding a bottle, drinking, acting a fool. And is he playing tonight? No. Is he ruining his career? Possibly. Should somebody try to handle him? Yes. If you're going to spend that much money on him and you're not going to cut him, then you need to do is put a handler on him. Have somebody to babysit him. I think it's the only way you're going to do is recoup your money and be able to make him until he can. I mean, there's guys out there that are smart and they don't go out and they don't get stupid and they don't get into fights and they don't carry guns into clubs and try to hang out like a thug. I don't care if you're white, black, Hispanic, whatever race. If you want to go out and act like a thug in a bar and show off and show you, pretty soon you go looking for trouble, it's going to find you. It doesn't matter who you are, it will find you. And just like this, guy goes out and you got some drunk idiot going up giving him crap because they're 0-16. I mean, what would happen if he punched that guy, broke his hand? Now he's out for 8 weeks. Possibly jeopardizing his career over some stupid guy that wants to sit there and get in your face and give you crap because your team's not winning. I think the league needs to do is step up. They need to do is, if they got that much money, they need to do is protect their investment. You got you got such technologies going on. You got colleges now. To recruit athletes, they're starting to use virtual reality. It says video game on Samsung mobile phone attached to Oculus. And I don't know if you know what an Oculus is. It's a headset. And it's designed to hook your smartphone to make it look like you're looking at a giant, almost like an IMAX, like a big screen. It says universities are practically indistinguishable when viewed through mundane procedures. They often send off to prospective students. So they send them, so they're turned to virtual reality to reach football recruits instead of sedating them with the endless description of, or requiring costly visits. They're sending them, the athletes, these Oculus headset, so they can watch all of this and see all that they have to offer through video. Could be very impressive. It's a lot quicker to take a tour and be more impressive, showing the stadium and the workout area and everything, rather than taking all day to go through the facility. Now, right now, 2 guys hit the quarterback after he released the ball, and there's no penalty. And there should have been. He goes running to the sideline with his arm draped to his side because he got hit. I think it's ridiculous how many times they hit him. Yep, he's on the sideline right now. They're rubbing his shoulder, and he is hurting. He can barely lift his arm, and that's his throwing shoulder. He might be down. or done for the night. And if you watched it, the hit, it was excessive. Should have been flagged. I mean, you go through an injury report from week to week, it's unbelievable. So, well, we're overdue for our first break, so we're going to take a quick break, and we'll be back here shortly.
Brain feeling a bit fuzzy? Might be that show Straight Talk with Matt Hasley. It's on every Monday and Friday, 10 p.m. Eastern. It gets to you. Live audio on TuneIn Radio and Spreaker.com. Plus live video on Ustream.tv. From the demented minds at ArmedRadioGlobal.com.
Mom, can you grab me some cookies for school today?
Finally. As a mother, I want to share about St. Julian's macaroons. I am concerned about my child's health, so I pack for his lunchbox, and after school, I give him St. Julian's macaroons as a healthy alternative to many of the store-bought cookies. There are no preservatives and only 100 calories, and he really likes them. So find them in the freezer section at your local supermarket or order online today at www.macaroons.com.
Hey there, sexy. This is comedian Jenny Lavoie. You can catch me with the rest of the gang every Thursday at 10 p.m. Eastern on Night Talk with Joe Rocks, exclusively on Armed Radio Global. Mwah!
Route 106 Motors is the home of fine pre-owned vehicles. Experience a no-pressure sale with a family-friendly atmosphere. Route 106 Motors has been practicing the same simple philosophy of low prices for over a decade, and it has brought us great success. Recently, while other dealers are closing their doors, Route 106 Motors is expanding. We are a wholesale dealer, and we own the property and pay cash for all the vehicles. This allows us to sell to the consumer for a lot less than the average dealership. We are a high-volume, small-profit dealer, and we pass the savings on to you. New changes have been made at Route 106 Motors. Stop by and check out our brand-new building. Route 106 Motors, located at 569 West Street. Check our website at Route106Motors.com and be sure to like us on Facebook to find out about all the latest deals and savings opportunities. Route106Motors.com.
Hey everyone, this is Monica Ursino. Be sure to check out my music on WARM, Boston's digital dance station. And you can catch me on Night Talk with Joe Rock Thursdays at 10 p.m. Eastern, exclusively on Armed Radio Global.
Are you hangry? Know the signs. Uncontrollable yelling.
Why aren't you egg rolls?
Hallucinations.
Sushi.
Pants discomfort.
I hate you, pants.
Hangry. It can happen to anyone. Fortunately, there's E24, the app that tells hunger to shut up.
Egg rolls. Thanks, Snoop.
E24. In my medical opinion, it's the best way to order food online, baby.
Need tree removal? Need tree pruning? Need stump grinding? What about dangerous 24-hour tree removal? Then you need to call Need Tree Work. We have all the equipment and expertise to do the job right. Our team at Need Tree Work provides efficient and effective services such as snow plowing, snow removal, sanding, and salting. Need Tree Work is family-owned and operated, fully licensed and insured. For unmatched tree work at unbeatable price, call Need Tree Work at 1-508-840-1600. Visit our website at needtreework.com. Come down and visit us at 250 Dedham Street, Norfolk, Massachusetts, next to Dunkin' Donuts on Route 1A. Don't forget, if you need Christmas trees, we'll have them there too. Like us on Facebook, Need Tree Work.
Need a dose of raw reality radio? Listen in to Night Talk with Joe Rocks every Thursday, 10 p.m. Eastern, exclusively on Armed Radio Global, with audio replays on Spreaker and live feed video on Ustream.tv. Or call in live to Night Talk with Joe Rocks at 1-866-225-5401, Thursdays, 10 p.m. Eastern.
join me every Wednesday night for On the Air, 10 p.m. Central Standard Time, right here on Armed Radio.
Hey everybody, this is Paul and Jim. Join us on Pod Talk Radio, Thursday nights, 11 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, right after Night Talk with Joe Rocks.
Where we will be discussing subjects one doesn't say in polite society. We're rude and crude and unwavering in our opinions.
So please tune in to Armed Radio Global, home of the big guns. Boom!
It was like a shadow in the night. My hair was standing on end. I was frozen in fear. I couldn't believe it. They really are here. Make sure you join the Alien Invasion Response Team. Tune in for the message every Monday and Friday for Straight Talk with Matt Hasley, 9 p.m. Central Standard Time. Only on Arm Radio Global. Be ready. They're coming.
And we're back. We were talking about sports before we went. Huge in the news right now we got going on is the Colorado shooting. Very sad, incident where some deranged individual wants to go out, take a gun, and go shoot up a facility. Ends up killing 2 civilians and 1 police officer. Myself being a former police officer, it's a tough call. When you don't ever expect that call to come where you might end up giving your life. My heart goes out to the family of the fallen officer, but immediately, even before anybody had made it to the hospital to get any treatment, the gun control advocates were already had their launch on Facebook where they're posting stuff about how we need stricter gun laws, which Colorado has, unbelievably strict gun laws. And what law would have stopped him from getting that gun? Or if he didn't already have it. And then they started blaming everybody for the ads of the undercover attack, or the undercover video attack on Planned Parenthood for selling and harvesting baby body parts. And they're saying the hate speech that was put out by Fox News is what caused this individual to go off and kill these people. Well, I listened to Glenn Beck this morning, and Glenn Beck says pretty much the same thing. And the one thing he talked about, he says, why wasn't it hate speech that they were all talking about putting pigs in a blanket and frying them like bacon? Why weren't they on top of them when they were advertising about all this hate speech to police officers and everything like that? And then 2 officers in New York get killed. And where were all these gun advocates about talking about these officers who got killed? And where were all these gun advocates? 3 people died in Colorado. I think it was 9 or more died over the weekend in Chicago, and 82 were wounded in the strictest gun control, and the president didn't go on the air and talk about it. Nobody brought it up. hardly even makes news. Chicago has some of the strictest gun laws. You're not even supposed to own a handgun in the city of Chicago. Does it stop it? No. Does it make people target rich environment? Yes. They won't be happy until they take them away. And then they come out with this. I have one girl I went to school with, and she posts, I don't know what, I can understand if you're for one side because you feel the policies are with this, but if you take away the guns from everybody, you won't be able to protect yourself. They're not going to be happy until they do. They will change they want them to repeal the Second Amendment. There were so many congressmen, Democratic congressmen, they come out and said that they wanted them to look at bypassing the Second Amendment and going after, gun confiscations now. Well, the problem is if you do that, these people don't realize is what happens to the next amendment that they want to take away from your freedom of speech. The Fifth Amendment or the Fourth Amendment. Unreasonable search and seizure. People don't realize when they start dismantling what our forefathers wrote, then we become a society where the government controls you completely. If you go down this road, you can never put the genie back in the bottle. That's the problem. I read stories every day. Well, the liberals don't, because they don't want to read the stories about people defending themselves every day with a gun. They talk about how, everybody with all these guns are going to get in the hands of these kids and they're going to end up going off. There are tragic situations everywhere. The cost of this is according to the Brady campaign, which is he was injured during the assassination attempt of Ronald Reagan. And they come out with the law. It says medical treatment, criminal justice procedures, and new security precautions and reductions in quality of life are estimated to cost U.S. citizens $100 billion annually. Okay? All right. But the real cost of drunk driving is estimated to cost $132 billion each year. And that comes off of Mothers Against Drunk Driving. Said a report was recently released which shows that drunk driving costs the United States more than $132 billion each year. This is according to data compiled by the Pacific Institute for Research and Evaluation, PIRE. You may think that if you don't drink and drive, these costs don't affect you. Unfortunately, it isn't the case. So, $132 billion a year, and you don't hear them wanting to ban alcohol. If we go by Mothers Against Drunk Driving stats, they talk about stats that if you didn't say it was alcohol, you would think it was gun control stats where they were like to the same effect. So many people die every year or every day from alcohol, drunk driving. I will not drink and drive. If I drink at all, I will not drive. Was I stupid in the past when I was younger and done it? Yes. Am I thankful that nothing happened? Yes. Will I do it now? No. You know, you think about it as what is your cause? Do I think that we need to do is stop drunk driving? Yes. But I don't think you could do is sit there and tell people that they can't protect themselves. It's just like saying if drunk driving, people will sit there and they talk about stats of drunk driving. They'll drive, I forget, it was like 70 some times before they're actually caught. And a percentage of them will even drive after they've lost their license. So, but you don't hear them wanting to ban alcohol. It's not the alcohol's fault. When somebody's drunk driving and they cause an accident, it's that person's fault. They blame that person. When this guy goes and shoots up a Colorado abortion clinic, I don't want to call it Planned Parenthood. They do abortions there. And they're all upset about the murders at Planned Parenthood, which I think is, yes, it's sad. But they're murdering people every day there. And that goes under the radar. Nobody thinks about it. It's still killing. A lot of these people that are defending Planned Parenthood for what they do of this baby harvesting, organ harvesting, they're the same people that be upset if they saw a video of them clubbing a seal. Although I agree, I'm not into the animal abuse, and I'm going to talk more about that later. The one that was floating around the internet and stories, and FBI is going to start doing some more stuff towards that, which is great. But they have no care about a defenseless baby, but they'll rally for the cause for somebody that harms a dog or a cat. I don't understand the priorities with that. And they go, well, don't mess with the woman's body. I don't know how you can sit there and kill a little baby like that. Speaking of a little baby, there's a story in the news where a Los Angeles deputy rescued a newborn. So the Los Angeles County Sheriff's Deputy Adam Collette knelt on the asphalt and heard the muffled cries of a baby who had been buried alive. He pried up 2 large pieces of asphalt, dug out loose dirt, and plucked the newborn girl out of a hole along the bike path. Cradling her in his arms, I think the little baby had a sigh of relief, and so did I, Collette said Monday. Kind of felt each other like, hey, everything is going to be okay. Little girl estimated to be 24 to 36 hours old when she was found Friday, was healthy and in stable condition at a hospital. Somebody buried their baby alive. Maybe if you'd have gone to the Planned Parenthood, they would have clubbed it and took out the organs for you. And maybe gave you some little money. I'm like, and you think our society's not doomed? The odds of that baby living, it says the sun was going down, and they think that baby might have lived 45 minutes to an hour. It's lucky that that officer was there. But I'd like to think about somebody would do is bury a baby alive. You know, where, you know, and you think of these, you know, I understand that a 16-year-old or a 15-year-old that goes into doesn't feel that they can handle a baby, give it up for adoption. If you can't, don't just sit there and go into an abortion clinic and kill the baby. And everybody goes, well, how can you know, I'm not really for the death penalty. I'm Catholic. I don't believe in the death penalty because I don't think it deters that person. And some people go, well, it'll take that person out of society. Well, I think that person needs to suffer. I'm not the one that needs to make that person suffer. That person should be put in prison. At the end of this article about the finding that baby, it says, hard to believe that someone doesn't have a friend or family member or someone to confide in. They get pregnant in secret, they hide in secret, and they want to throw away the secret. It says 16 babies have surrendered in the county this year, and a total of 140 since 2001. Great. If you think you can't handle the baby, it says no shame, no blame. Put the baby up for an adoption. Put to somebody that will take care of that baby. It's human life. If that baby is still in the mother with the heart beating, is that human life? Just because we haven't pronounced it born? I just don't, I don't like the abortion, and they what do they want to do? They want to, the videos that came out, they wanted to say, oh, these videos they're faked, and they edited them, and they did all this, and all. They don't want to sit there and they're not appalled by what they're doing. They want to justify, that somebody lied about it and they doctored these videos. No, they didn't doctor them. They got caught being just as sinister. I mean, just sit there and harvest a baby like like they're dissecting a frog and sell it. Oh, and make sure that you don't, when you crush this part here, it appalls me that people are that way. Another story about let's see if I can find it. Oh, here. California man, this is San Bernardino County DA's office. California man who crushed a baby to death with his foot said he felt better after being convicted last week in the child's death. The jury found the Daniel Ruiz, 25, guilty of second-degree murder. In August 2013, Ruiz returned home from work when he found that his girlfriend was not there. He then went to her friend Andrea's apartment around the corner, knowing that she would be most likely be there. When Ruiz arrived, Tara and Andrea asked him to watch Andrea's 2 children while they went to the store to pick up milk. According to the news release, the women were gone for 30 to 45 minutes. During the time, Ruiz walked over to Andrea's 1-year-old daughter, who was lying on the floor watching television. He then placed his foot on her chest, applying 230 pounds of his weight on her body, and crushed her. When she started going into seizures and stuff like that, he tried to tap her to get her to snap out of it. A 1-year-old baby, and he crushes the baby with his foot. Got a picture of her here on too. I mean, just a cutie. Where are we headed as a society when people do stuff like that? They, talking about Alan West. Alan West talked about, he says, he talked about the tragedy out in Colorado. He said, I want to express my condolence to the families of who lost loved ones, and especially the law enforcement officer who lost his life. Only everyday guardians. As I watched the coverage and read some of the online social media responses, along with protests in Chicago, he says, I figured I'd offer my assessment. This is Alan West. And for those liberal progressives who feel my words don't matter, then why are you reading them? It says, we don't know the motive behind the Colorado Springs shooter yet, although I have seen right-wing Christian negative, the whole fear of right-wing Christians as opposed to militant Islamic terrorists. I think the liberal progressive media and their acolytes need to be careful in exposing them to a blatant hypocrisy. The incident that occurred in Colorado Springs is horrible and surely will reflect upon demented mind. But those on the left need to be aware that every day Planned Parenthood is in the business of killing babies. That is not debatable. Murder is murder. And the left believes that it can leverage this as some political scoring point. You are clearly mistaken. It says, I know the retort will be that Roe versus Wade provides for the legal killing of babies. But do any of you find comfort in that logic? It says, I suppose we've come to the point in America where we, the progressive social left, cherry picks which killings are okay, i.e. politically advantageous. I have to agree with him there. I mean, it's crazy. I mean, where are we headed? I mean, it's okay to kill because some law in our society deemed it was okay. So you sleep good at night, knowing that it was okay, that the judge said it was okay for you to kill. As I said, all lives matter. Not just the ones that the judge says is okay and the ones that says it's not okay. They're talking about the Colorado shooting. It says, Colorado Fraternal Order Police releases a scathing statement slamming race-baiting morons who questions why Planned Parenthood subject was captured alive, claiming, he was only captured because he was white. He says, the Colorado Fraternal Order Police issued a searing statement on its public Facebook page aimed to those who might question why the Colorado Planned Parenthood subject was taken into custody alive. So sadly, there are race-baiting, delusional, ignorant fools with an agenda of hate that use any tragic event to peddle their corrupted opinion. The Colorado Fraternal Order Police said Saturday, what they don't understand is our job is to preserve life, not to take it. You see, for us, all lives matter. That is the primary reason we joined this profession, the standards we live by. It said Colorado police engaged in several shooting battles with suspect inside Planned Parenthood Center on Friday for 5 hours. According to the New York Times, police officers eventually drove an armored vehicle into the facility and were able to rescue some of those trapped inside. We're exchanging gunfire. One officer was heard saying over the police scanner, we're trying to keep him pinned down. Put gunfire through walls. An officer responded, whatever, we got to stop this guy. The Colorado Fraternal Order Police maintained that the suspect was captured alive because he was given an opportunity by police to surrender. The suspect took that opportunity and subsequently followed the commands of law enforcement officials. Afterward, according to Colorado Fraternal Order Police in a statement, the Colorado FOP said the opportunity to surrender is given no matter what the suspect's race, as Colorado police have captured numerous people alive, including those of minority race and other shootings involving police officers. So for people to sit there and say, oh, he was only taken alive because he was white, is because he gave up. They make it want you to believe that law enforcement goes out and shoots just black people. The recent incident in Chicago, very, very bad incident. It looks very bad for the officer. What we're going to do is talk about that when we get back. We're going to take another quick break. So stay with us.
Brain feeling fuzzy? Might be that show Straight Talk with Matt Hasley. It's on every Monday and Friday, 10 p.m. Eastern. It gets to you. Live audio on TuneIn Radio and Spreaker.com. Plus live video on Ustream.tv. From the demented minds at ArmedRadioGlobal.com.
Mom, can you bake me some cookies for school today?
Finally. As a mother, I want to share about St. Julian's macaroons. I am concerned about my child's health, so I pack for his lunchbox, and after school, I give him St. Julian's macaroons as a healthy alternative to many of the store-bought cookies. There are no preservatives and only 100 calories, and he really likes them. So find them in the freezer section at your local supermarket or order online today at www.macaroons.com.
Hey there, sexy. This is comedian Jenny Lavoie. You can catch me with the rest of the gang every Thursday at 10 p.m. Eastern on Night Talk with Joe Rocks, exclusively on Armed Radio Global. Mwah!
Route 106 Motors is the home of fine pre-owned vehicles. Experience a no-pressure sale with a family-friendly atmosphere. Route 106 Motors has been practicing the same simple philosophy of low prices for over a decade, and it has brought us great success. Recently, while other dealers are closing their doors, Route 106 Motors is expanding. We are a wholesale dealer, and we own the property and pay cash for all the vehicles. This allows us to sell to the consumer for a lot less than the average dealership. We are a high-volume, small-profit dealer, and we pass the savings on to you. New changes have been made at Route 106 Motors. Stop by and check out our brand-new building. Route 106 Motors, located at 569 West Street. Check our website at Route106Motors.com and be sure to like us on Facebook to find out about all the latest deals and savings opportunities. Route106Motors.com.
Hey everyone, this is Monica Ursino. Be sure to check out my music on WARM, Boston's digital dance station. And you can catch me on Night Talk with Joe Rocks, Thursdays at 10 p.m. Eastern. exclusively on Armed Radio Global.
Are you hangry? Know the signs. Uncontrollable yelling.
Why aren't you egg rolls?
Hallucination.
Sushi.
Pants discomfort.
I hate you, pants.
Hangry. It can happen to anyone. Fortunately, there's E24, the app that tells hunger to shut up.
Egg rolls. Thanks, Snoop.
E24. In my medical opinion, it's the best way to order food online, baby.
Need tree removal? Need tree pruning? Need stump grinding? What about dangerous 24-hour tree removal? Then you need to call Need Tree Work. We have all the equipment and expertise to do the job right. Our team at Need Tree Work provides efficient and effective services such as snow plowing, snow removal, sanding, and salting. Need Tree Work is family-owned and operated, fully licensed and insured. For unmatched tree work at unbeatable price, call Need Tree Work at 1-508-840-1600. Visit our website at needtreework.com. Come down and visit us at 250 Dedham Street, Norfolk, Massachusetts, next to Dunkin' Donuts on Route 1A. Don't forget, if you need Christmas trees, we'll have them there too. Like us on Facebook, Need Tree Work.
Need a dose of raw reality radio? Listen in to Night Talk with Joe Rocks every Thursday, 10 p.m. Eastern, exclusively on Armed Radio Global, with audio replays on Spreaker and live feed video on Ustream.tv. Or call in live to Night Talk with Joe Rocks at 1-866-225-5401, Thursdays, 10 p.m. Eastern.
Allen here. Join me every Wednesday night for On the Air, 10 p.m. Central Standard Time, right here on Armed Radio.
Hey everybody, this is Paul and Jim. Join us on Pod Talk Radio, Thursday nights, 11 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, right after Night Talk with Joe Ross,
where we will be discussing subjects one doesn't say in polite society. We're rude and crude and unwaver in our opinion.
So please tune in to Armed Radio Global, home of the big guns.
Boom!
It was like a shadow in the night. My hair was standing on end. I was frozen in fear. I couldn't believe it. They really are here. Make sure you join the Alien Invasion Response Team. Tune in for the message every Monday and Friday for Straight Talk with Matt Hasley, 9 p.m. Central Standard Time, only on Armed Radio Global. Be ready. They're coming.
And we're back. We're talking about just about ready to talk about the Chicago shooting where the officer shot the I think it was 17-year-old kid 16 times. It's let me see if I can find the article I was and I tell you what, this is not good if this really happened. I gotta get a better way to set the that can't be on the next page, is it? Oh, yeah, it is. This is apparently a Burger King manager has come out and said Chicago police, Burger King manager accused Chicago police of erasing surveillance video in the case of a black teenager shot last year by a white officer. He has testified before a federal grand jury investigating the shooting. It's said he told the Chicago Tribune that the FBI also took the video recorder containing all the restaurant surveillance images. It's not clear what the video might have shown, but accusations of tampering has fueled the anger of protesters who said the city... I just got poked. I don't know if you heard that in the background, but that's loud. I'm going to have to turn those down. Boy, wow. It says, not clear what the video might have shown, but accused of tampering has fueled the anger of protesters who said the city police and local prosecutors have mishandled the case. After months of refusal, the city released the police squad car video of the shooting on Tuesday in response to a judge's order. But both the police chief and the Cook County State's attorney deny the Burger King video was altered. The Burger King is just yards away from where the 17-year-old Laquan McDonald fell when the first round struck him. It took just minutes for police to demand to see the restaurant's password-protected video. It said, the manager, Darshane, said, it says, I was just trying to help the police with their investigation. Darshane said, I didn't know they were going to delete it. He said that when the officers left almost 2 hours later, there was an 86-minute gap in the recording, including the time surrounding the shooting. Darshane told the Tribune he testified about the missing video before the grand jury earlier this year. The Associated Press could not reach Darshane for comment on Saturday. So this is a AP story. It says, Cook County State's attorney this past week announced state-level charges for first-degree murder against the officer. If they erased video, which they will have video of those officers, probably, I'm sure they probably erased anything around of the officers going in and out of there. They're going to have, somehow they'll be able to figure it out. And if they find out these officers erased this video, that's going to look very bad for them. It's looking very bad already for the officer. But they said that it said that the police union, let me see if I can find it. It said that the police union was backing the officer, which it pretty much has to because he paid into it. So whether they, people like it or not, and it's just like, anybody that does something wrong at a job that's a union member. It says Chicago police union stands by cop charged with murdering teen. It says Chicago police union standing by the white officer who charged with first-degree murder for gunning down the black teenager. It is facing backlash from leaders of the city's black community as a result. It says union contract. Dion Trotter, president of the Cook County chapter of National Black Police Association, said the 13-month delay in releasing the video of Van Dyke shooting McDonald frayed relations with the community. Those kind of things begin to break down the trust between police and the community. I agree. There's no way that you can look at that video, and I guarantee any officer that's involved in a shooting, and especially one that's involved in where somebody is killed, there's going to be an investigation. And within, at minimum, excuse me as my nose runs, at minimum, within a couple weeks, they should have made a decision, or to a month, where you would have seen that officer was in the wrong. I see the individual was on PCP, but they made no effort, from what I saw on video, to take him down by any other means. They did not try to tase him. They did not try to tackle him. The report that the one officer said that the teenager lunged at him. Well, I didn't see it on the video. You know, he could say he might have lunged at him from what he thought, but I didn't see any movement like that. So if they released, or other officers went in, and that usually is, the cover-up is worse than the, well, I would not say it's worse than the crime, because shooting, you know, killing a young teen, somebody dying in that is not worse than the crime. But the other officers are going to end up getting fired and charges brought against them for trying to cover up a crime. They know that if they went in and tried to deleted the video for this, and there's going to be other people that will be able to testify to that. If they were able to do is prove that these guys went in and deleted the video, it's going to show a cover-up. So, it's a shame, you know, that's where it gets to. You know, also, what is it, end of last week? What do we have? Another White House jumper. What the heck is going on there? Guy tries to jump the fence at the White House, and what did he runs up the fence and goes, I got it, let's do this. But I guess apparently he left a suicide note. Well, he didn't commit suicide. He made it across and immediately gave up. So, yeah, you just, I don't understand why somebody would want to jump the fence and try to go onto the White House grounds. I mean, it's a good thing they stopped him there. The last one made it all the way inside. But who's to say you could have, 4 or 5 terrorists go over the wall and just rush into the house with a couple suicide vests on or something like that? It could be bad. We had, hang on here one second. I had to mute that for a second. I didn't want everybody to hear me blowing my nose. Apparently, clicks are going to defeat bricks, they call it. Apparently, Black Friday, people online shopping ended up beating in-store shopping. So, and which didn't surprise me any. I did a little Cyber Monday shopping myself. It's supposed to be the best deals for electronics. They recommend that you don't buy them on Black Friday because you get better deals on Cyber Monday. Oh wow, I'm looking at the game right now. Currently Baltimore and Cleveland both tied 27-27. 1:25 left to go in the fourth quarter. Delay game against the Ravens. So, turned out to be a really good game. But, they think that it will be an 8% increase in cyber sales this year over last year, which is awesome. So, I would think that, with as easy as you can get it delivered to your door, the biggest thing you got to do is worry about theft. When it gets delivered to your door. But, you think about how you don't have to go out and you don't have to fight with the crowd. Everything. You could get exactly what you want. Going and getting it online. You know, we haven't talked about any of the refugees at all. Talk about Michael Moore. You know, I'm not a big Michael Moore fan, but I got to give him credit. You know, I talk about how, you know, who's willing to house refugees as they come over. Well, it says on the heels of an announcement that he would open his own Traverse City, Michigan home to Syrian refugees entering the U.S., left-wing filmmaker Michael Moore has launched a website to encourage Americans to join him in opening their home to refugees. Michael Moore has launched My Home is Open campaign on official website, through which Americans can register their homes as shelters for Syrian refugees. It says, I'm asking anyone who has spare rooms in their homes or an empty apartment, cottage, or whatsoever, make it available Syrian or Iraqi refugees between 6 months and a year while they're being settled in the U.S. More rights on the campaign page adding, if you do this, would you please sign up on hashtag MyHomeIsOpen registry. Your name and contact info will be kept private and will only be shared with appropriate refugee agencies sanctioned and overseen by the Obama administration and its participating NGOs. They will contact you when they have refugees that will be vetted and need to be placed in homes. Moore explained on Twitter that he is offering his own apartment in Michigan to Syrian refugees. I got to give a credit to him. You know, as much as I might not agree with him, for him to offer that and for him to step up, I got to give him that credit. He at least did that. But Michael Moore has a 10,000 square foot mansion on Torch Lake, which is apparently not the residence he is offering to Syrian refugees. So he's got other places, but he is allowing them to stay there, or going to allow them. So that's more than a lot of people have said. That's more than I could say I could do. Because I don't have any in the room. But I got to give the credit to him because he making an effort. And no, I don't think all the people that are coming here are bad or anything like that. They're trying to do is get away from a bad situation. I would like to see that it is making. How do I phrase this? But I would like to make sure that they vet the people that are coming from here, from the other countries, that they're not anybody hiding amongst them. But it's hard to tell, one way or another. So, we're going to take another quick break. It's that time again. I know it goes quick. And we'll be back here shortly.
Brain feeling a bit fuzzy? Might be that show Straight Talk with Matt Hasley. It's on every Monday and Friday, 10 p.m. Eastern. It gets to you. Live audio on TuneIn Radio and Spreaker.com. Plus live video on Ustream.tv. From the demented minds at ArmedRadioGlobal.com.
Mom, can you bake me some cookies for school today?
Finally. As a mother, I want to share about St. Julian's macaroons. I am concerned about my child's health, so I pack for his lunchbox, and after school, I give him St. Julian's macaroons as a healthy alternative to many of the store-bought cookies. There are no preservatives and only 100 calories, and he really likes them. So find them in the freezer section at your local supermarket or order online today at www.macaroons.com.
Hey there, sexy. This is comedian Jenny Lavoie. You can catch me with the rest of the gang every Thursday at 10 p.m. Eastern on Night Talk with Joe Rocks, exclusively on Armed Radio Global. Mwah!
Route 106 Motors is the home of fine pre-owned vehicles. Experience a no-pressure sale with a family-friendly atmosphere. Route 106 Motors has been practicing the same simple philosophy of low prices for over a decade, and it has brought us great success. Recently, while other dealers are closing their doors, Route 106 Motors is expanding. We are a wholesale dealer, and we own the property and pay cash for all the vehicles. This allows us to sell to the consumer for a lot less than the average dealership. We are a high-volume, small-profit dealer, and we pass the savings on to you. New changes have been made at Route 106 Motors. Stop by and check out our brand new building. Route 106 Motors, located at 569 West Street. Check our website at route106motors.com and be sure to like us on Facebook to find out about all the latest deals and savings opportunities. route106motors.com.
Hey everyone, this is Monica Ursino. Be sure to check out my music on WARM, Boston's digital dance station. And you can catch me on Night Talk with Joe Rock Thursdays at 10 p.m. Eastern, exclusively on Armed Radio Global.
Are you hangry? Know the signs. Uncontrollable yelling.
Why aren't you egg rolls?
Hallucination.
Sushi.
Pants discomfort.
I hate you, pants.
Hangry. It can happen to anyone. Fortunately, there's E24, the app that tells hunger to shut up.
Egg rolls. Thanks, Snoop.
E24. In my medical opinion, it's the best way to order food online, baby.
Need tree removal? Need tree pruning? Need stump grinding? What about dangerous 24-hour tree removal? Then you need to call Need Tree Work. We have all the equipment and expertise to do the job right. Our team at Need Tree Work provides efficient and effective services such as snow plowing, snow removal, sanding, and salting. Need Tree Work is family-owned and operated, fully licensed and insured. For unmatched tree work at unbeatable price, call Need Tree Work at 1-508-840-1600. Visit our website at needtreework.com. Come down and visit us at 250 Dedham Street, Norfolk, Massachusetts, next to Dunkin' Donuts on Route 1A. Don't forget, if you need Christmas trees, we'll have them there too. Like us on Facebook, Need Tree Work.
Mike Allen here. Join me every Wednesday night for On the Air, 10 p.m. Central Standard Time, right here on Armed Radio.
Hey everybody, this is Paul and Jim. Join us on Pod Talk Radio, Thursday nights, 11 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, right after Night Talk with Joe Rocks,
where we will be discussing subjects one doesn't say in polite society. We're rude and crude and unwaver in our opinions.
So please tune in to Armed Radio Global, home of the big guns. Boom!
All right, I'm going to do my play-by-play action here. 51-yard field goal attempt with 3 seconds left to go. The kick is blocked. Oh, no. Oh, he's going to run it back. No. Oh, yes, he is. He runs it back. You're kidding me. To end the game, Ravens run the block kick back for a touchdown to win the game. What a heartbreaking way to lose Cleveland. Man, that stings. Oh, that was terrible. I was actually rooting for Cleveland there. So, we've been multiple stories we've been talking about, but here's one that gets me. Florida woman tapes dog's mouth shut to stop the dog from barking. It says, Florida woman is under heavy scrutiny after posting a photo on Facebook of a dog with his mouth taped shut. It says, Katie Brown, whose Facebook profile says she lives in South Dayton, Florida. It says, posted a photo Friday morning with the words, This is what happens when you don't shut up. The post included dozens of critical comments for the woman. Brown responded to some of the comments saying, "I can't lie, I did it for 60 seconds. It was timeout and no more barking. And really, people, some dogs need a muzzle so they don't bite someone's child." Brown posted another status update moments later that read, "Don't panic, everyone. It was only for a minute, but it hasn't barked since, point made." It's unclear whether any cruelty animal charges will be filed. It says that Saturday morning the post had been shared more than 126,000 times. So that's it. Like I said, more people care about animals than they do about babies in that incident. So, but here's another crazy story. You get what's wrong with our people. Mississippi man. He was arrested and accused with attacking his parents, stabbing one and killing the other because they brought home fast food but didn't get him any. Jefferson Parish, New Orleans police spokesman John Fortunato says a 32-year-old man, Ronald Pritchett of Mississippi, was charged with second-degree murder for stabbing his father to death and for attempted second-degree murder for attacking his mother. Because they didn't bring him any fast food home. No gun crime there. He stabbed him to death. It's like you said, when you got people that are nuts, it doesn't matter if you take away the gun, they're still going to do evil things. They're going to stab them to death. What are you going to do? Next thing, you're going to ban knives? It's the knife's fault. It's not his fault. It's the knife culture. So, yeah, I shake my head at what's next? Other story. Let's see here. Pregnant woman stuffs 89 bags of heroin inside her body part. Well, I think you got a good idea where she stuffed them, but it says Glen Rock Police Department, Marina McCarthy, a New Jersey traffic stop for a minor violation, ended badly for a pregnant Pennsylvania woman who was caught on police cruiser camera stuffing nearly 100 bags of heroin down her pants and into her body cavity, which would be her, I guess, where her turbo is located, I guess. That's what they call it. McCarthy, 6 months pregnant, was handcuffed in front of her body to keep her comfortable during the ride to the station, the outlet reported. But she betrayed the officer's trust by pulling out baggies of heroin and stuffing them into the body cavity. Said a canine detected drugs inside the car. McCarthy paid her outstanding warrant of $1,000, released on charge of possession of controlled substance, and is due. Only got $1,000 to be released. 89 bags of heroin. Wow, you think that'd almost be dealer weight. So, we were talking about the animal cruelty of that one dog, keeping the dog's mouth shut. It says FBI will start tracking animal cruelty next year. It will be adding a new category. It's crime stats reporting, and for the first time, will be tracking crimes of animal cruelty. Well, I think that's good. With all the, it's a stat for them to track it. Hey, that's great. Here's another one. Cops. Man took ambulance for a joyride. It says, Leonard Eugene Smith of York, Pennsylvania. Emergency workers in Pennsylvania got an unpleasant surprise when they wheel a patient out of a home to their ambulance, only to find out it wasn't there. Police in New York tell dispatch 21-year-old Leonard Eugene Smith took the vehicle for a joyride Friday before ditching it. They say an in-vehicle camera captured his actions and a tracking device led them to the ambulance. Jim Arvin, president and CEO of White Rose Ambulance, said the video shows Smith having a good time behind the wheel, adding he seemed excited. Smith is charged with a felony theft and misdemeanor count of reckless endangering another person. He got jailed for $75,000. The patient, who he was having breathing problems, got to the hospital without much delay after another ambulance was called. But what if the guy would have died by his stupid actions? That's scary to think, that you bring somebody out to the ambulance, but a lot of people don't realize that if anytime somebody has a heart attack or whatever, they do all the life-saving techniques there. They don't just throw them into the ambulance and rush them to the hospital and try to save them there. All the paramedics and fire department and EMT, they're all trained to do, they're almost like a mobile ER. They can do everything right there. I got to see, their new CPR device in action. I was impressed when I saw it. I'd never seen anything like it. It was, hope I don't have to see it too often or see it again, in use. But, it was amazing what technology's gone to. But it's, a lot of people think that ambulance pulls up and they just throw them into the ambulance and they run with them. No. They can do everything right there. It's amazing. Here's a good story. Minnesota Salvation Army kettle over the weekend got a check for $500,000. Was dropped in the kettle at a Club Foods in Rosemont, Minneapolis. The Salvation Army hasn't wasted any time cashing this donation bucket check. Salvation Army officials in Minnesota and North Dakota says a couple dropped a $500,000 check into a red kettle Saturday outside a Cub Foods in suburban Minneapolis. Spokesman Annette Bauer said it's the biggest check ever in the Minneapolis area and likely the biggest ever in the two states. Bauer says the couple has a history of donation, prefers to remain anonymous. She said they alerted the Salvation Army that the check was coming and asked them to open the kettle and remove the check before volunteers who count donations could see their names. Bauer called it an astonishing gift at the time when the division was running about $500,000 behind the same point last year. So that's awesome. So I wish I had the amount of money like that to be able to donate it to help people like that. That would be so rewarding to be able to do is help people. You see some people that do so well, and you see some people that you wonder where they're. It's just scary to think where they're at. Here's one. Craigslist. Anybody go, do Craigslist shopping? Well, apparently a couple was trying to buy a car via Craigslist, had to act quickly when they found out that they were being robbed. Police say a couple made arrangements to look at a car someone had listed for sale on Craigslist. During the meetup, one of the sellers pulled a gun on the couple, demanded money. While one of the robbers had his gun pointed at the man, his girlfriend drew her own firearm and shot the robbers. One of the robbers, 23-year-old Frank Frazier Jr., was pronounced dead at the scene. His accomplice took off after being confronted by an armed citizen. Like a coward he truly is, the couple was not injured. That happened in Aiken, South Carolina. So, you go, you're going to buy something on Craigslist, and you're going to meet them to, look at it or make sure you have people with you, and make sure you're ready in case somebody is undesirable on the other end. That's what I'm talking about. You have your, here's another one. Suspect robber, armed with a crowbar, attempts to rob a man as he was leaving Burger King and immediately regrets it. Regrets. As the Burger King patron was leaving the fast food restaurant in Tulsa, Oklahoma, he was forced to shoot a man who confronted him wielding a crowbar in an attempt to rob him. According to local law enforcement, the man leaving the restaurant was licensed to carry a gun and acted in self-defense when he shot the would-be robber in the right shoulder. After being shot, the suspect got into a blue four-door car. He was later located at a hospital, but has not yet been arrested. And I don't figure how they, why not? The police had interviewed the man once at the hospital and will conduct a follow-up interview to determine if he'll face any charges. Hell yes, he should. He tried to rob somebody. And the only reason why he got away with it is because the guy didn't hit him any vitals. See if we have any other feel-good stories. Oh, I was talking earlier. You ever wonder what it'd be like to drive or fly a drone? Apparently the Air Force hires civilian drone pilots for combat patrols. Critics question legality. The Air Force has hired civilian defense contractors to fly the MQ-9 Reaper drones to help track suspected militants and other targets in global hotspots. A previously undisclosed expansion in the privatization of once exclusively military functions. For the first time, civilian pilots and crews now operate what Air Force calls combat air patrols, daily round-the-clock flights above areas of military operation to provide video and collect sensitive intelligence. Contractors control 2 Reaper patrols a day, but the Air Force planned to expand that to 10 a day by 2019. Each patrol involves up to 4 drones. It says civilians are not allowed to pinpoint targets with lasers or fire missiles. They only operate the Reapers that provide intelligence, surveillance, reconnaissance known as ISR, said Air Force General Herbert Hawk Carlisle, head of combat or Air Combat Command. There are limitations on it, he said. The contractors are not combatants. And I'm sure that eventually they will. Hell, you want to teach somebody how to fly those Reaper drones? Get about a 9-year-old with some Red Bull. He'll teach you how to fly that thing over a weekend and make that thing do more things than you can imagine. You get these kids that, they wouldn't even have to tell them how to fly it. They'd learn how to fly it. So if you ever wanted to be a drone pilot, and not one of them little, little mini drones that fly over and you got a little camera on it and you're invading neighbors' privacy. But I'm talking about the big drone. I think it'd be cool to fly them. Let's see here. Oh, here's one. Suspected burglar stuck in a Huron's home chimney dies after residents light fire. Man apparently got stuck in the chimney of a Huron home during a botched burglary attempt, died Saturday after homeowners lit a fire in the fireplace. The Fresno County Sheriff Office said, Lieutenant Brandon Purcell said deputies received a 911 call to the 16,000 block of West Gale Avenue just before 3 p.m. After lighting a fire, the male homeowner heard screaming coming from somewhere inside the house. When the resident realized the person was in the chimney, he extinguished the fire. Deputies and firefighters had to smash through the chimney to get the man out. He was pronounced dead on the scene. Fresno County coroner will perform an autopsy to confirm the cause of death. Hopefully they don't find out he was Santa, but Purcell said the home suffered smoke damage in addition to a busted chimney. Yeah. I just find it wild that somebody would try to climb down through a chimney. We're going to save this, some of these stories about exorcism till Friday. We'll work on those later, but, here's one. Want to live to your 120? Well, if you do, the world's first anti-aging drug will be tested on humans next year in trials which could result in people being able to live healthy well into their 120s. So, if you're healthy, yes. If you're just allowing you to live, no thanks. But, it said, a baby girl born today is expected to live to the average age of 82.8, a boy to 78.8, according to the Office of National Statistics. But if the results seen in animals are reproduced in humans, lifespan could increase nearly 50%. So, that would be pretty wild. Warriors just went 19-0. They just won again. If, let's see here, it says, oh, wow, my sinuses are going off. I don't know what it is. It's right when I get to the halfway through my show. Apparently, a federal jury in Seattle, Washington, awarded $21.5 million in damages to an Illinois man who was injured by an automatic sliding glass door on a cruise ship in 2011. James Hausman, attorney, argued that dozens of other passengers have been injured in similar incidents on Holland American Line cruises. A ship doctor diagnosed Hausman with a concussion as he finished the trip. However, Hausman attorney says tests later showed that he suffered a minor brain injury that caused seizures, memory loss, and vertigo. $21.5 million. I know somebody that works on that cruise line. I'm going to have to talk to them and see if they remember the incident. So, here's one for Jimmy, host of Pot Talk. I don't know if this is a true study or not, but it says federal study will pay you $3,000 a week to consume cannabis. Jimmy does it for nothing. It's the United States National Research Center, NRC, has been commissioned by the National Institute of Drug Abuse, NIDA, to conduct comprehensive research evaluating the effects of cannabis on the human body. The research will take place in 7 facilities across the nation, is intended to determine whether or not cannabis can be used to relieve stress or stress-related disorders while allowing consumers of plant to maintain normal function in their lives. This is one of the first very promising studies that will finally reveal the answer of the age-old acquisition of stoners are just lazy, says lead researcher Michael Gregory. It's an exciting new study that may push the legality of marijuana to all 50 states. I think this is a fake study. But I tell you what, Jimmy ought to check into it, because I tell you what, it's right perfect for him. So if that would be the case, he would be signing up immediately. Well, it's that time. Hard to believe it was 2 hours, but thanks everybody for tuning in. We'll see you on Friday night. Make sure to tune in tomorrow night for Talk Time with Val. Wednesday night for On the Air with Mike Allen. Thursday night, Night Talk with Joe Rocks. And I'll be back on Friday. Everybody, be safe and have a great night. Remember,